A song comes on, one you have not heard in years, and suddenly you are somewhere else. A particular summer. A kitchen that no longer exists. A person you have lost touch with, or lost entirely. For a few seconds, the ache is almost physical, a longing for something you cannot return to, mixed strangely with a kind of sweetness. We call this feeling nostalgia, and we treat it as a gentle indulgence. But it is one of the most peculiar things the human heart does. Why would we ache for a past we cannot have back, and why does the ache feel, somehow, good? Start with the word itself, because it carries a clue. Nostalgia comes from two ancient Greek roots, nostos, meaning homecoming, and algos, meaning pain, the pain of longing for home. And when the term was first coined, a few centuries ago, it was not considered a sweet feeling at all. It was diagnosed as a serious illness, a dangerous homesickness afflicting soldiers far from their homeland, thought capable of genuinely wasting them away. Other languages reached for the same difficult feeling and named it in their own way. The Portuguese have a word, saudade, that has no clean English translation. It describes a deep, aching longing for something or someone absent, often something that may never return, and perhaps never even fully existed the way you remember it. A bittersweet presence of an absence. The fact that so many cultures invented a special word for this suggests it is something fundamental to being human. What makes nostalgia so strange is that it is two opposite feelings braided together and felt at once. There is genuine pain in it, the sharp awareness that the moment is gone and unrecoverable. But there is also warmth, tenderness, even joy. We do not simply endure nostalgia, we seek it out. We play the old songs on purpose, look through the photographs, return to the places. We deliberately reopen a small, sweet wound. Why would anyone do that? For a long time, psychologists treated nostalgia with suspicion, as a kind of unhealthy dwelling in the past, an avoidance of the present. But more recent research has turned that completely around. Nostalgia, it turns out, is not a malfunction. It is one of the mind's quiet tools for making life feel meaningful, and it does real and measurable good. When researchers actually studied what nostalgia does to people, they found something surprising. Far from leaving us stuck or sad, it tends to lift mood, deepen our sense that life has meaning, and strengthen our feeling of connection to others. When people feel lonely or adrift or like their life lacks significance, nostalgia rises up almost automatically, like an immune response. It reaches back into the past and pulls forward the evidence that you have been loved, that you have belonged, that your life has held things that mattered. That is the hidden function underneath the ache. Nostalgia is how you remind yourself who you are. It stitches your scattered past into a continuous story, links the person you are now to all the people you have been, and reassures you that the thread of your life, even with its losses, has been worth something. It is, in a strange way, a form of gratitude pointed backward through time. But there is a sharper, more unsettling truth folded inside it, one worth sitting with carefully. Very often, the moments we feel the most nostalgia for are moments we did not fully appreciate while we were inside them. The ordinary evening, the dull routine, the friends we assumed would always be around. At the time, it was just life, unremarkable, even tedious. It only became precious later, in memory, once it was permanently out of reach. We did not know we were in the good old days while we were living them. That should change something about how you see right now. Because the unremarkable present you are standing in at this very moment, is the raw material of someone's future nostalgia. The people around you today, the ordinary routines, the things you barely notice because they are simply always there. These are the exact things you may one day ache for with your whole heart. The good old days are not only behind you. You are, right now, standing in the middle of some of them. And that points to the only real response nostalgia is asking for. Not to live in the past, replaying it on a loop, mistaking the memory for a place you could return to, and not to dismiss it as mere sentiment either, but to let it teach you what it knows about value, and then turn that knowledge toward the present. Nostalgia is love that survived the passage of time. It is a record of what truly mattered to you. And the same eyes that find the past so precious can learn to see the present that way too, before it has gone. So the ache, in the end, is not really a wound. It is a form of love that has outlasted its object, proof that something got through to you, that your life has been full of things worth missing. The pain in it is just the cost of having cared, and that is a cost worth paying. So the next time an old song stops you in your tracks, and that bittersweet ache rises up for a moment you can never return to, do not rush to shake it off. Let it remind you what it is pointing at, that your life has held things of real value, and that it is holding more of them right now, today, quietly waiting to be noticed before they too become the past. If this gave you something to sit with, that is what this channel is for. Small shifts in how you see your own life. I will see you in the next one.